The first time I stepped onto the royal grounds of Kilora Prime, I felt the weight of 1,000 eyes on me. The sprawling city shimmered with bioluminescent towers, their tips piercing the violet night sky. Hover cars whizzed past like glowing fish in a neon river, but it was the palace that dominated the view, a colossal structure of obsidian and silver, guarded by soldiers whose reputation alone could unsettle even the most seasoned warriors. I had been summoned as a representative of the Terran fleet. Humanity had just joined the Galactic Concord, and Kilora Prime was the first alien world to formally welcome, or scrutinize, our presence. My mission was clear: establish trust, learn their culture, and prove that humans were more than just a volatile species. What I didn't expect was to immediately draw the attention of Commander Saralith, the captain of the Royal Guard. She didn't approach me with words at first. There was a presence in her stride, a disciplined precision that made the hair on my arms stand on end. Her armor was a dark alloy that shimmered with a liquid-like quality, reflecting every light around her, yet offering no insight into the person beneath. Her eyes, silver and unyielding, locked onto mine as if weighing my soul. "Human," she said finally, her voice smooth but commanding, "your reputation precedes you. Yet here you are, untested. Will you prove your worth, or cower behind your fleet's power?" I met her gaze. I had been trained for negotiations, for diplomacy, but I had also been trained for survival. And something in the way she stood, unyielding, confident, triggered a response in me I couldn't ignore. "I don't back down," I replied evenly, letting the words carry my resolve. Her lips curved slightly, the first hint of a smile I noticed. "Very well. Then you shall face the trial." The trial, I soon learned, was not a ceremony of words, but of skill, endurance, and strategy. The royal grounds had a combat arena, a massive circular platform suspended in midair, surrounded by a force field that could withstand energy cannons. Today, it would witness a duel between a human and the mightiest warrior of Kilora Prime. I stepped onto the platform, feeling the slight hum beneath my boots. Saralith emerged from the shadows, her movements fluid, every step measured. She wielded twin energy glaives, their blades glowing with a pale blue light. I carried only my plasma sidearm and a combat blade strapped to my thigh, a conventional Terran arsenal, but one I knew inside and out. The crowd fell silent as the force field sealed us in. Saralith moved first, a blur of precision. I dodged, rolled, and countered where I could, relying on instincts honed during years in human special operations. But she was unlike any opponent I had faced. She read my movements as if she could anticipate them before I even thought to make them. Every strike I attempted was parried with minimal effort. Every angle I tried to exploit was blocked. Then I remembered the Terran principle that had carried us through countless wars: unpredictability. I began to move in ways that were chaotic, unpatterned, even reckless. Saralith's eyes narrowed, a flicker of surprise crossing her composed expression. I lunged, dodged, rolled, and even faked a retreat, forcing her to respond to threats that weren't really there. Slowly, the tide shifted. "Impressive," she said mid-motion, as if complimenting me while we dueled. "Few have ever forced me to adapt." Her words fueled me. Humans had always survived by turning disadvantages into advantages. I feigned a misstep, allowing her to strike where I had no intention of blocking. Instead, I triggered a magnetic pulse in my blade, sending her glaive spinning out of her hand. The arena erupted in whispers. Saralith stood still for a heartbeat, then smiled. Not the faint smirk of before, but a full acknowledgement of respect. "You are different. Human ingenuity, unbound by tradition. I underestimated you." I lowered my weapon slightly, respecting her skills even as I kept my guard up. I'm not here to prove superiority, Commander. I'm here to prove humanity has its place in this galaxy. For a moment, the arena seemed to pause. Even the hovering drones recording the duel emitted a quiet hum, as if acknowledging the weight of the moment. Then, she raised her hand, and the force field shimmered open. You have passed the trial, human. Not because you bested me, but because you refused to be bested. That alone earns my respect. We descended from the platform, and she extended a hand. I took it cautiously. There was strength there, but also a kind of unspoken trust. For the first time, I felt like humans were not just visitors in the galactic concord, but potential equals. The rest of the evening was filled with formalities, feasts, and careful diplomacy. But I noticed that Commander Seralith remained near me, observing not with suspicion, but with an analytical curiosity that felt almost human. Later, as the twin moons of Kilora Prime cast their pale light across the palace courtyard, she spoke softly. Most humans would have fled, intimidated by the arena, by me, by everything. Yet you stood your ground. Tell me why. I looked at her, the memories of countless human struggles flashing before my eyes. Our history of wars, survival, and improbable victories. Because we don't give up. Because even when the odds are against us, we find a way. It's not about winning every battle, it's about standing when others fall. She nodded slowly, a shadow of a smile on her lips. Perhaps that is why your species survives. Not because of strength alone, but because of heart. I underestimated the Terrans. I won't make that mistake again. In that moment, I realized something profound. Humanity was still raw, untested by the full expanse of the cosmos, but our resilience, our refusal to back down, could earn respect, even from the most formidable beings in the galaxy. As I left the royal palace that night, the city lights reflecting off my armor, I knew the duel was more than a test of combat. It was a statement. Humans would stand, humans would endure, and humans would claim their place among the stars, not through fear, but through courage. And somewhere behind me, I could feel Commander Seralith watching, perhaps already planning the next trial. But I was ready, always ready. The palace doors closed behind me with a deep, echoing clang. The cheers had faded, the lights dimmed, and Kilora Prime returned to its endless hum. Behind me, Commander Seralith removed her helmet and watched my retreating figure. For the first time in centuries, she said quietly, the Royal Guard did not test a subject, we tested ourselves. Above the city, Terran ships adjusted their orbit. Humanity had not conquered this world. We hadn't threatened it. We had stood our ground. And across the stars, that message spread faster than any weapon ever could.